There are 246 additional cases reported in today's numbers. They're all locally acquired. 90 of those cases are linked to known outbreaks and other cases. The rest are under investigation by our public health team. That takes us to a total of 1,786 cases. All but 4 of those are local. Just to go through the age breakdown, I know that's of interest to all Victorians. 273 of those are aged 0 to 9. 284 are aged 10 to 19. 456 are aged in their 20s. And 284 are aged in their 30s. There are 110 people in hospital. 30 of those are in ICU. 14 of those are on a ventilator. And just to give people a clear sense and hopefully remove any doubt that this is everybody's business, the age range of those ventilated patients is 17 years of age through to 76 years of age, and there are people in their 40s, 50s and 60s in between. So anyone can fall ill to this. Anyone can become seriously ill to this virus, and that's why we all have to work so hard, and that's why it's so impressive that so many Victorians are doing the right thing to limit the spread of this virus. These numbers, obviously at 246, we want less cases rather than more, but if we acknowledge that this moves so quickly, our task, all of us together, is to limit the growth in the number of cases, to keep them lower than they would otherwise be. That buys our state time to get people through the vaccination program, and it also takes the pressure off our health system. Those 4 weeks that we spent in hard, fast lockdown has prevented 6,000 cases and 600 admissions to hospital. That puts us in a strong position. But it's very finely balanced, and that's why the rules apply to everybody, and that's why we all have to play our part, and that's why we're so proud and so pleased that so many Victorians are doing just that in extremely difficult circumstances. There were 32,300 vaccinations administered yesterday, a good strong day. That takes us to a total of 2,643,019 doses that have been administered in our state-run clinics, and I would just make the point that we were, I think when we first signed up to this, we were due to do about 25% of the work. We're doing about 50% of the work, and it's a credit to the teams that are working at those 55 designated state-run hubs. They're doing a fantastic job, and of course it's a credit first and foremost to all of those Victorians who've come forward to get vaccinated. Today, we can report that we're at 61.4% first doses administered, so we've pushed through that important 60% first dose barrier, as it were, and we are well on our way to not just meeting our target of 1 million vaccinations over 5 weeks, but we're ahead of schedule, so it looks like we will in fact beat that number or reach the 1 million a little earlier than we had thought. Days, not weeks, but it's a mighty effort to have achieved so much in our state clinics to this point. 59,000 bookings were made yesterday. It's very encouraging, including more than 7,000 priority bookings for our senior students, our final year students who rang the phone number, albeit there was a lot of demand, as you always get whenever you open something up for the first time. We've got a few extra people on the call centre today, and hopefully that's smoothed out a little bit. But of course, when you've got 50, 60,000 people wanting something all at the one time, that can make it challenging for even an expanded system. So we thank those who are still making those calls to make those bookings. That's critically important to getting you to your exams and keeping you as safe as possible. I do want to make the point that there are, as I stand here right now, there are 11,400 AstraZeneca appointments available over the next 7 days. As so many people have said, as logic dictates, don't wait for the jab that might come in a month or two. Go and get yourself protected. Go and protect the people you love, and indeed play a part in protecting all of us. Please go online and book one of those 11,400 appointments. They're just waiting for your name to go beside them. And 6 weeks later, you can have your second dose, and then you can be fully double dosed. We are getting very close across Victoria. Perhaps this week we will meet the 1 million Victorians double dosed using the AstraZeneca vaccine. That is an amazing achievement. So what I'm asking you to do is essentially do what 1 million other Victorians have done. Go and get the vaccine that's available today. Don't wait a week or a month or even longer, this is a race, and the sooner we get to 80% double dose, the sooner we can be open and free, doing the things that we love, seeing each other, participating in something approaching, as normal as can be, the Victorian economy and indeed the Victorian community. 11,400 of those appointments available right now over the next 7 days. Please go online now and book one. I just again remind everyone, there's a process to be gone through. There'll be a doctor or a senior nurse or a pharmacist at each of our 55 clinics, and they will talk you through all the issues, and then hopefully you can make an informed choice to get your first dose, and then 6 weeks later get your second dose and be fully protected. None of the people that we've talked about today that are in hospital, to whom of course we send our best wishes and we thank the teams of people who are caring for them, but none of those people have had two doses, and only a very small number have had one. So this works. These vaccines are safe and they protect you against very, very serious illness that isn't just about having underlying conditions. Perfectly healthy people are becoming very unwell as a result of contracting this virus. There's every good reason for yourself, for the people you love, for the people who love you, and indeed for the broader Victorian community. Join the almost 1 million other Victorians who have got 2 doses of AstraZeneca. Play your part and help us get to that magical 80% number sooner than we otherwise would. The notion of doing 50% is really significant. To have done, going on double what we had said we would do. We're very proud to have a state hub system, a state vaccination system that is just flying along and doing enormous amounts of work, but it can do more. And that's why today I'm very pleased to announce that whilst we've increased our capacity in recent weeks, 25,000 per week, we will soon be able to add another 40,000 vaccinations each week. That's further significant growth, so we can play an even bigger part in this race to 80%. I can also announce that how we'll do that, some of the ways in which we'll do that. There'll be 25 additional cubicles that will be added at the Melbourne Town Hall, the Port Melbourne Town Hall, and at Eagle Stadium. A new vaccination centre will also be established at La Trobe Uni. There will be more cubicles at Sandown Racecourse, Wyndham, and the Eagle Stadium drive-through. And that'll mean we have an increase of about 50% capacity at each of those sites. So that's a significant boost. While additional cubicles at Melton drive-through clinic will double its capacity each and every day, opening hours will also be extended across the system so that we can have more appointments and more people moving through our state-run hubs. As impressive as 50% of the total workload is, and the fact that we've got so many millions of jabs in arms across our state clinics, we know we can do more, and we're pushing the system every day to do more. That's what Victorians need and want, and that's what the government is delivering. There'll also be some additional pop-up sites, particularly focused on VCE students. So, for instance, Altona Badminton Centre and the Australian Islamic Centre in Newport. There'll be more information about lots of other pop-ups over time, but they're the announcements that we can make today in relation to further boosting the capacity of our state system. Another 40,000 people each and every week moving through that system. More than we said we'd do, but that's just the nature of these things. You've got to get on and get the job done.